Ended up winning my game. Like the Bills and the Vikings right now.
Move that mic away from you.
Oh, man.
All right, this time around, we'll start on with questions for players before we get to anything for coach.
Trey, after the Bowling Green game, you talked about how you felt like you bulked up and you're ready to play down low. Going up against CSU today, you looked really comfortable on that. Can you talk about that a little bit from your personal perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I know he was significantly taller than I was, but I felt that going into it, I'd be able to be more physical than him. I think I might like way more than him actually, so I just tried to use that to my advantage. I didn't shoot very well today, but I felt I was able to still dominate down there physically.
Is that something you can then, eventually take to the Horizon League play or, against other opponents? Not like you've seen somebody, that much bigger than you and really handled yourself well?
Yeah, definitely. Just go in and be able to go in those games and not have to worry about if someone is taller or bigger than I am. Just knowing I'll be able to hold my own physically is something that will be a plus for me going into conference play.
Keith, you had a double-double. You had 15 points, 11 rebounds. You were perfect from the free throw line. Even though you guys lost today, what could you take away from your performance and how you could use it moving forward?
I think the biggest thing to take away from the performance is just playing hard, continue to play hard, pushing, persevere, fighting through it. It was a tough game. Didn't go as planned, but definitely learned from it and back to the drawing board and get after it.
Keaton, Coach Campia said, rebounding. His biggest concern about this team was going to be rebounding. You went out there and went toe-to-toe with, the 4-stars, the All-Americans and stuff like that today, and you more than held your own. You succeeded, as far as rebounding the basketball. What does that tell you moving forward as you guys roll through this season?
So I feel like it tells me that I just got to keep on attacking the glass, battling, and then, continue pushing my teammates and all collectively rebounding.
Are you starting to feel a little more at home with the offense? I would say even between like the Defiance game to today, you look more comfortable with the offense. And people that transfer in here sometimes, they struggle picking some concepts up from time to time, but you look more comfortable than you did even 2 weeks ago.
Yes, so I'm just playing within the ebbs and flows of the game. I tried to let the game come to me, not force. And, my teammates put me in a lot of great positions. Had a lot of finishes I should have made, but, it just wasn't falling tonight. But it's back to the drawing board, continue to work.
Trey, can you also talk about, obviously, last year you guys got Oklahoma State in Oklahoma. So, just what was different from tonight to last year for you guys?
I felt they shot very well. They came in here obviously coming off of a loss to us last year. They're going to come out wanting to prove that that shouldn't have happened. But I didn't shoot as well as I did last year. I felt I probably should have rebounded a bit more, but I was just doing everything I could, and that's the way that it happened today. They had a lot of transition points. We struggled to get back on defense a lot today. That hurt us, especially when we were chipping away, especially at the beginning of the second half today. We had those 2 great possessions, and then just when they would come down the court and make some threes and transition off of a turnover, that was momentum killer, and that's what I was saying.
Any other questions for players? All right, you guys are dismissed.
Thank you, guys.
Now, Coach, will give you the floor for an opening statement.
Some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. Today, we were the bug, man. You know, a lot of this, and you hate for it to happen because you got a full house. I had some really important recruits here today. And, you know, I think the atmosphere, our fans showed off great, but we didn't. And so it makes you feel bad because you've got this momentum and you're going forward. And so I feel bad. That's what I feel bad about. I don't feel bad at all about the team or where we're headed or what we're doing. I feel bad that we didn't compete and play a game that was a marquee game here. You don't get this type of team in your building. And the last 3 or 4 times we've gotten teams like this and we've won. But we're not ready to win this game yet as a team. I do think before the year's over, we will be ready to win a game like this because there's a lot of really good things about our players. But we're not there. We have a lot of issues that I have to figure out. Zone, man, how do we guard ball screens? You know, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And I can't make those decisions until I see these guys play a handful of games. Unfortunately for us, is there's no easy one. I mean, we go to Toledo Wednesday, and they're probably every bit as good as Oklahoma State is. And then Imani Bates in Eastern Michigan comes in here. Then we go to the Bahamas, and we play Long Beach State, who won their league last year and picked to win it again this year. And, you know, so there's no easy one where we can find those things out and still win games. So I understand that. I don't want, you know, to use it as an excuse or anything, but, you know, right now, for us to play a team that runs and as athletic as they are and to run with them, well, we beat them last year in a 53, 54, whatever the score was last year, because we walked the ball up the floor. We made every possession count. We didn't allow them to get out and run. And that's how they lost the other night in a very eerie, similar game to that. And probably the only way we could beat this team is that way. But I didn't want to do that because that's not how we're playing. And, you know, we took a lot of quick, bad shots in the first half. We were 1 for 13 from the 3. And if you go back and analyze it, a lot of those we get stops, you know, get a stop, boom, get a stop, come down, fire a shot. And it eventually led to a couple runouts. You know, they had 42 points at the half, but I would say in the last 3-4 minutes, they scored 10 or 12 points. You know, we had guarded them extremely well considering the size of that, but we couldn't make a shot. And it's like a football game where an offense, the defense is always on the field. Eventually you're going to wear down and you're going to give up touchdowns. Well, that's what we were doing. We were on defense the whole half because we were just firing up quick shots, and we got to learn from it.
I'll open up to questioning.
Coach, I know you said that you're not good with the loss, but you're okay with it. So from this game till you guys go to Toledo and play, what's the one thing you're looking at for improvement from today to when you guys play Toledo?
I don't think we'll see a lot of improvement. We'll take tomorrow off and we'll have 1 day of practice. And you know, we're gonna emphasize ball screen defense. You know, Bowling Green hurt us with that. And we're a zone team that's trying to morph into a man-to-man team. And there's a learning curve. And right now our ball screen defense isn't very good. And Toledo's really good at the ball screen. So we'll spend the majority of our time in practice working on ball screen defense and concepts on how to guard ball screens so that we can make adjustments during the game on what they're doing with the ball screen. But other than that, you know, we're going to continue to work on rebounding. We're going to continue to try and get better at it. And then, you know, we just got to make shots. I mean, it's pretty hard to win a game at home when you're 4 for 22 from the 3.
Cam, what about Keaton Hervey when you guys brought him in here? you talked about, when you and I talked about it, you said, hey, he's gonna help us rebound the basketball. He showed that here today. Are you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't miss many shots, so they're not gonna have a lot of offensive rebounds, but they missed 29 shots and had 6 offensive rebounds. With a team that big, that's pretty good on our part. Way better than it was against Bowling Green. So we've made an improvement on that. But Keaton tracks that ball well, and he hustles and he goes and gets the ball. And he had a really good game today. He was one of the few people that stood out. And that was great to see.
Well, and Lauren Bowman too, that you were able to get him some time, give him the game situation, and he was really, really efficient out there. And more than that, Camp, he looked like a very confident player.
And that's the first time, I've seen 1 or 2 practices like that. We know what we've got with Warren. It's just, as I said in the post game, it's just going to take some time and develop. And I was really pleased with how he played. I didn't play him against Bowling Green. I just didn't see an upside for a young man that hasn't played much in a couple of years. When we fell behind early against Bowling Green, I didn't see an upside of throwing him out there with the way where he's at in his developmental stage with me and with our offense. Tonight, he got to go in there where he, with a blank canvas. There was no pressure. There was no game wasn't on the line. Okay, Lo, let's go play. Let's just get yourself some confidence. And I thought, he played better than anybody we had in those last 10 minutes. So it was really good to see. And can he carry that over to a practice? And then can he carry it over to the Toledo game? And eventually, it's like the story I told on the post-game show. Everybody remembers Reggie Hamilton being this great player for us, led the nation in scoring. Reggie's first year, his transfer year, when he was eligible, it was one of the best teams I ever coached. And he was not a starter early in the year. We beat Tennessee at Tennessee. They were ranked 7th in the country, and I don't think he played more than 5 or 7 minutes in that game. Very similar to Lowe. And by the end of the season, he was a go-to guy on that team. I think he averaged 17 to 18 points, and I know he scored over 20 against Texas in the NCAA tournament game. So that I'm hoping that this is that same developmental stage. I tell this story, and I'm not expecting him to be Reggie Hamilton. I hope he is. I think he could be as talented. We'll see how he develops, and he made a great stride tonight. Boy, great stride. I feel very confident for him, and he's going to get, now the next step in his development.
Jalen Moore had a pretty un-Jalen Moore-like night.
He's hurt.
I was gonna say, it was
Hurt.
hurt or was it game plan? Hurt?
No, he's hurt. He's hurt. He's hurt. He's got to go look at his ankle. I mean, it's black and blue and swollen, but he wants to play, and we need him, so he play. This was a heck of an opportunity. We don't get this, and so people probably shouldn't have played against Bowling Green, but we didn't think we could just throw him out here today. And when he doesn't fly up and down the floor by people, something's wrong. And I know they're athletic, but not a lot of difference. Athleticism of guards in our league versus those guys. Maybe they're 6'4" instead of 6'1", but the quickness and everything. And Jalen is as fast as anybody in the country. He's playing on a wheel and a half right now.
And then 422 of 3, as you talked about. I think on the season, I think you're under 30% or right around there. I think as a team.
Well, I think if you take the 2 Division I games and take Defiance out of it, we're probably in the 20s.
And so for a team that's built on shooting, is that just getting into the gym and just seeing them fall, or is there something game plan wise there? What do you do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wish I had the answer. It's not getting in the gym because they all get in the gym. It's just getting confidence and we've got to get shots in rhythm and good shots, and not jab, step, step back 3, and run up the floor, fire a 3. We've got to get good 3s. And when you're not making them, they've got to be inside out 3s. We got, ball goes in and then it's kicked out, or get an offensive rebound and a kick out. That's how you start getting rhythm in your 3s. And hopefully that will happen. It's not an area that I can sit here and say I'm really confident in, because we haven't shot the 3 well in 2 or 3 years. And when your offense is based on 3-point shooting and you don't do it, then maybe I've got to change some concepts.
Camp, last one here for me, getting Oklahoma State here, getting Power Fives into this gym as a landscape of college basketball continues to change and conference realignment and all that kind of stuff. I mean, do you foresee a day when you're able to do this again? I mean, games are drying up pretty quickly here as conferences expand.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see a lot of it now. The good is that somebody's gonna look at that score and maybe it isn't as hard, we've beaten the ones before that. The word out there, you don't go there. They came here due to COVID. And Mike's from this, he's got family here and all that kind of stuff, so, he wanted to come back, which is awesome, and maybe he will again, but, I know if we'd have won tonight, we'd never have one again, 4 in a row, it's not. But maybe now we will, who knows, I'm just worried about trying to figure it out and get to Toledo and not worry about next year's schedule or the future.
Any other questions from Coach from you guys? There's one right here. What are some things that fans need to know about Toledo on Wednesday?
Maybe the best offensive team we'll see all year. They beat UAB on a neutral court the other day. They're receiving votes in the top 25. They have, they're not real big, but they're thick. They got a kid that looks like a fullback. Seth Milner's been there for, it seems like 25 years. He's really good. Their point guard's a big, strong kid. And they got a kid named Shoemate, I think it is, that shoots it really well. And we beat them. They won the MAC last year, and we beat them by 20 points here. So don't think that it won't be the same situation. They see a flaw right now, and they can come with us going in there. I think they feel like they could put a beat down on us. So it's not going to be an easy night. And, we got to guard. And I thought that we guarded. I think even though the points don't look like it, I think we've guarded very well up until the second half tonight. The second half tonight we didn't guard. But I thought we've guarded very well up to that. Our poor offense has put our defense in some really bad situations, and then rebounding too. I mean, you can be the greatest defensive team in the world, but if they get the miss and lay it in, it's not good defense. That's what happened against Bowling Green, the 20 offensive rebounds. Tonight we didn't guard very well the second half, but our offense really put us in a bad situation defensively. So I don't know if I answered his question or her question or not, but Toledo's really good. They're not good. They're really good. They're good at home. And if we shoot 4 for 22 from the 3 again, we're going to lose by 30 to 40.
Any other questions off of that one? No? All right, we're good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.